The air had changed. Freyan could feel it. Not just the way her sharpened senses reacted to sound, heat, or danger. This was deeper, like her very cells were thrumming with a warning. As she stood on the mansion balcony overlooking the forest, the trees bent to winds that had no sound. The sky above them darkened unnaturally, bleeding into shades of wine red and black. Becky stepped beside her, arms folded across her chest, her eyes tracking the eerie sky. "It's not just a storm, is it?" Freyan shook her head slowly. "No. This is Saint." A shiver ran through Becky's spine at the name. Ever since Billy's betrayal and Saint's emergence, they'd known something darker was unfolding. But this was no longer distant. The world was reacting. Something ancient and cursed was rising with it. Freyan turned back toward the living room. "We can't stay here. If he finds this place, he'll turn it into another graveyard." "Then where do we go?" Becky asked, following her inside. "We have no allies." Billy turned, Jojo's group scattered after the base fell. "We have no one." Freyan paused. Then her gaze shifted to the map spread across the dusty table. Her finger tapped the edge of a marked zone, an abandoned underground research facility. "We go to Project 𝖗𝖊𝖇𝖊𝖈𝖈𝖆'", she whispered. "That's where it began." Becky frowned. "What do you mean?" Freyan turned toward her, eyes dark. "That's where I was first injected. That's where Saint was made." The facility was buried beneath the roots of an old military outpost on the edge of the city. The journey was brutal, roads torn by war, air thick with the scent of ash and blood. The infected had grown more twisted. Their limbs longer, eyes burning gold instead of red. Some crawled on all fours like wolves. Some even spoke in half-broken human tongues. It was nightfall when they reached the edge of 𝖗𝖊𝖇𝖊𝖈𝖆'. Becky had barely slept. Her hand was always near her dagger, and her other hand rarely left Fran's. "You're too quiet," Becky whispered, watching her as they prepped to enter the old security tunnels. "I'm scared," Freyan admitted. "Not of what's in there. Of what I might remember." They descended into silence as the metal doors groaned open, revealing a stairway into shadow. It smelled of rust, chemicals, and something long dead. Becky stayed close to Freyan's back, their footsteps echoing softly. Inside, the walls were lined with shattered monitors. Blood smeared the tiles in old handprints. Files were scattered across the floor. Freyan stopped at a door marked, Subject 027, Access Restricted. "I was 18, Freyan murmured. "They told me I was chosen. That my genes were unique. That I could become stronger, faster. I thought they were saving the world." Becky reached for her hand. "They turned you into a weapon." Freyan's throat tightened. "And Saint. Saint was the prototype. The original. But he couldn't handle it. He broke. I didn't." The next chamber was colder. It was a surgical bay. Freyan flinched when she saw the restraints. She began trembling, visibly. I can't breathe here." Becky caught her. Arms around her, steady and warm. "Freyan. Look at me." Freyan did. Tears pricked her lashes. Her fangs had slightly emerged. "You're not that girl anymore. You're stronger. You survived. And you saved me." Something snapped in Freyan then. Her arms went around Becky, crushing her close. She buried her face in her neck, breathing her in like she was the only real thing left in the world. "You saved me too," Freyan whispered. Their lips met, slow and trembling. A kiss filled with grief, with longing, with healing. It deepened, not desperate but deliberate, as if they were saying things they didn't know how to say out loud. And when they pulled apart, Freyan's eyes glowed soft silver. "I want you," she whispered. Becky flushed, her fingers tightening around Freyan's shirt. "Then take me. But not out of fear. Not because the world is ending. Take me because it's us." Freyan pressed her forehead to Becky's. "It's always been us. I can't breathe here." Becky caught her. Arms around her, steady and warm. "Freyan. Look at me." Freyan did. Tears pricked her lashes. Her fangs had slightly emerged. "You're not that girl anymore. You're stronger. You survived. And you saved me." Something snapped in Freyan then. Her arms went around Becky, crushing her close. She buried her face in her neck, breathing her in like she was the only real thing left in the world. "You saved me too," Freyan whispered. Their lips met, slow and trembling. A kiss filled with grief, with longing, with healing. It deepened, not desperate but deliberate, as if they were saying things they didn't know how to say out loud. And when they pulled apart, Freyan's eyes glowed soft silver. "I want you," she whispered. Becky flushed, her fingers tightening around Freyan's shirt. "Then take me. But not out of fear. Not because the world is ending. Take me because it's us." Freyan pressed her forehead to Becky's. "It's always been us." They left the lab with new resolve. In the control room, Freyan uncovered archived blueprints. Saint had tapped into a dormant energy, one that was drawing power from the eclipse itself. He was using it to accelerate the infection across the continent. They had less than 72 hours. As they exited the facility, they saw the sky had fully bled crimson. The moon was blotted by a massive dark sphere, a second eclipse. The ground trembled beneath them. "We're running out of tea." Before they could mount their bike, a scream echoed through the air. It wasn't human. From the tree line, a creature emerged. 10 feet tall, bones cracking outward. Its chest split open like a blooming flower of flesh and rot. And at its core was Billy. "Fran," he gurgled, eyes twitching. Becky froze. "That's." "I know," Freyan growled. "Run." But Becky didn't run. She stayed behind her, weapon drawn. They fought together. Becky's blade was swift and merciless. Freyan's strength, enhanced now by her full transformation, was monstrous. She tore through sinew and bone, rage and sorrow in every strike. Finally, Billy fell, whispering Freyan's name before his core disintegrated. Becky collapsed to her knees, shaking. Freyan joined her, pulling her into her lap. "He was gone long ago," Becky whispered. "He wanted you to end it." Freyan nodded. "We end all of it. We kill Saint." They stayed under the stars that night, curled up on the edge of a cliff overlooking the burning forest. Freyan traced Becky's back gently. "I used to think I was unlovable," she whispered. "That the only thing I was good for was pain." Becky shifted closer. "Then you were wrong. You're my home. Even if this world falls apart, I'll find you again. Every time." Freyan kissed her hair. "I want to build something with you. After this. A real life. With music. Laughter. Coffee in the mornings." Becky grinned. "And a motorcycle?" Freyan chuckled. "Obviously." The sky above rumbled once more. In the distance, Saint's fortress began rising from the ashes. It would all end soon. But for now, wrapped in each other's arms, they found peace. Just for one night. But even in that stolen sliver of peace, something unspoken lingered. Freyan lay on her side, her arm draped around Becky's waist, holding her close as the wind howled in the distance. Becky traced gentle circles along Freyan's forearm, her breath slowing with each pass, yet her eyes remained open. "Do you ever think we were supposed to meet like this?" Becky whispered, breaking the silence. Freyan tightened her grip slightly. "Not in this world. But maybe. In every other." Becky turned in her arms to face her, their noses almost touching. "You talk like a poet when you're soft." Freyan chuckled under her breath. "You make me soft." The pause between them was heavy. Magnetic. Becky's fingers slid up Freyan's arm slowly, deliberately. "Do you know how long I've wanted to feel like this? Wanted you to feel me like this? Like I was more than just a mission to protect?" Freyan's jaw clenched gently, not from frustration but restraint. Her eyes searched Becky's, full of wonder and reverence. "I do feel you. I feel you in my veins, Becky. I see you in everything. Every choice I've made since I met you was because of you." Their lips hovered inches apart. The tension was unbearable, tender, trembling, and crackling with fire. Becky tilted her head and murmured, "Then why are you still holding back?" Freyan's breathing deepened. "Because if I give in, I won't survive losing you." "You won't lose me," Becky said, threading her fingers through Freyan's hair. "No, so let go." And this time, Freyan didn't hesitate. She kissed Becky like a dam breaking. No more restraint. Just raw, aching want and love. Their hands explored familiar curves with unfamiliar desperation. Every breath was sacred. Every sigh, a secret shared only between them. The fire they had tried to tame was now devouring them both, in the best way. The world outside continued to burn. But inside, they carved out something sacred. A promise in every touch. A vow in every kiss. And when their bodies finally stilled, tangled and breathless beneath the stars, it wasn't exhaustion they felt, it was certainty. Whatever came next, they would face it together. Because they belonged to each other. Completely. Utterly. Forever.